over the 6-year contract. The union's looking to get close to an 80% pay raise. Obviously, that sounds like a lot. And there's also some work rules where I'm sure the owners of the ports, which represent pretty much all the major ports up and down the eastern seaboard and the Gulf Coast, probably want more automation or more flexibility around work rules. The deadline for the contract ends on September 30th, and that means a strike could happen on October 1st. As we get closer to that September 30th date, it seems that a strike is pretty much going to happen, and a strike could last a couple weeks, maybe at the worst, maybe a couple weeks is kind of our outlook as of right now, and that will obviously be very disruptive to supply chains. A net positive for freight rates if you are a capacity owner, if you're a trucker, a provider of intermodal service, or a liner. Obviously not great news if you're a shipper, given the uncertainty and the complexities that a strike could add to your supply chains, not to mention costs.
And what are some of the specific implications of this if they don't meet that September 30th deadline? Has anything of this magnitude happened before?
Well, they haven't striked since 1977, and Biden said that he wasn't going to enact the Taft-Hadley Act, which pretty much forces the two parties into a cooling off period for, I believe, about 80 days. And so the negotiations would continue to happen despite passing the deadline. I think the Biden administration, my personal point of view is that tone might change if a strike lasts more than a week, because at the end of the day, these ports are responsible about 40% of all imports coming into the country, and will have an impact on the economy, which is, it's still, we're seeing growth, but that growth is probably pretty fragile. We don't want to see a recession around the corner. I'm not going to say that this could push us into a recession, but it definitely will be a drag on economic growth.